It's the Score North Twin Show.
Yeah. All right, you hit the burners, Dex. Oh.
Speculation.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, we got trouble.
The Score North Twin Show house is ablaze with hot stove, reckless speculation. So we did the payroll episode yesterday, which if you guys haven't checked that out, go ahead and give that a listen. Let us know what you think about the Twins basically announcing, we're going to cut the payroll down. We had a big discussion about that. But, boys, I bring your attention to MLBTradeRumors.com, where they have the top 50 free agent baseball players, and then they have 3 different writers. So Tim Durkis is like the founder of MLB Trade Rumors, and then 2 other writers. And all 3 of them predict where they think each of the 50 free agents is going to land. So they have 150 free agent predictions on this list that I think was posted yesterday on MLB Trade Rumors. Yeah, that's right.
Love it.
Reckless speculation.
Love
It's really interesting. It's really interesting. So we'll get to a random twin of the week here, too, on the show. If you could, by the way, we just relaunched this show back in like early July, the Score North Twin Show. And we thank you guys for helping it climb the Apple baseball charts a couple months ago. And if you could give us a 5-star rating and a positive review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, you can help us keep growing this awesome community of Twins fans. Also, a like and a subscribe click on the Score North YouTube channel helps do the same thing. So I'd love to just start with a couple of the top free agents that the Twins aren't expected to be in on, just to get your thoughts on like sticker price shock. Okay.
Cheap Twins.
The cheapo lads. So Shohei Otani is listed as the top free agent, and his projected contract is 12 years, $528 million, or put a different way, over $500 million over 12 years. He won't pitch next year because of Tommy John surgery, and he probably can't hit for a while either, because didn't Bryce Harper have Tommy John surgery and he had to miss like 2 or 3 months? But what do you make of 12 years, $528 million for Shohei?
Oh, I would never do 12 years. I don't care if it's Shohei. I don't care if it's Babe Ruth. I don't care if it's Mantle. I don't care if it's Mays. I'm not doing 12. Yes, you know what? Let someone do that contract, and there, I'm sure, will be significant short-term gain at the gate at least, because he'll be such an attraction. But I don't think much of a 12-year contract, and that's true in all sports. I don't remember the last one that really worked out well. You know, pool holes with the Angels.
Miguel Cabrera was like a 10-year deal.
Yeah, and we used to see this before the new CBA in the NHL. We used to see this as well, as we all know here with Parisi and Suter. So I'm just out on that type of term.
I mean, he's the coolest and probably greatest baseball player I've ever seen. Shohei Otani. I mean, I remember Barry Bonds too, but in terms of what he's doing on the mound and at the plate, I think he's the coolest and most badass baseball player I've ever seen. But 12 years, $500 million. I know I said I would have traded Royce Lewis for him in July when we really launched this Score North Twin Show. But that's a lot of dough. And he's going to get it. Like, he's going to get that money. It's going to happen, and we'll see if he stays healthy though.
It's the length of contract, and the second best free agent that they've listed is Cody Bellinger, because he had a huge bounce back season last year with the Cubs. Kind of got back to close to that MVP level he was playing at before, like the injuries and whatever else he was going through. They also have him projected to sign a 12-year contract, $264 million. So 12 years at like half the rate
12
of
years?
Shohei Otani. Yeah.
Well, he's not getting 12. I'd be shocked by that one.
Well, they're not. I mean, but they're going off of like there's been some crazy long contracts. You know, Bryce Harper. There's been 2 or 3 other ones that just like some of these guys would prefer to take a lower average annual deal. I mean, hell,
Right.
Carlos Correa was like 10 years, 12 years, or something ridiculous until the medical stuff caught up, and then. So, by the way, all 3 of the authors have the Dodgers signing Shohei Otani. For Bellinger, it's Yankees and then Giants for the other 2. But if you're the owners, like, wouldn't you collectively bargain? We don't need 12-year contracts in any sport. What if we just We don't need a salary cap, but what if we had like term limits on contracts? So the max you can sign. Yeah, hockey has a cap
8?
and term limits. Basketball has both.
8 for
8, right?
8 if
Yeah.
you're keeping a guy, 7 if he's coming from another team.
Yeah.
So yeah, like for baseball, maybe
Agreed
it should be the
completely.
same thing, right?
But
7 or 8
Bellinger,
years.
12 years. Like Otani, I wouldn't do, but I totally get it. Like I do think he'll get that.
Yeah.
Bellinger fell off a cliff, came back, but I mean, I certainly don't think of him as like a 12-year investment guy. Oh,
I
and
give
you
that-
know
yeah.
what?
I'd give
The
that guy 5
Yankees-
years and $30 million per, but I don't think I can give that guy a $12 million 12-year contract. Excuse me. I'd love to give him a $12 million contract.
Yeah, I don't know. I trust him as a Yankee. If I'm him, I think I go Giants. Like the Cubs, there's
Yeah,
pressure, but New York eats people like that up. I just don't know that he's got the. I don't know that his sort of seemingly laid back ways, which is fine, would fit in that market.
Agreed, dude. Like Giants seem like a perfect fit for him. Just go West Coast is where you started your career. Just go chill out there, play games at 10 o'clock Eastern time. No one's going to be watching. No one's going to be putting pressure on you. Mike Trout for the last 10 years. All right. And then a couple pitchers, one that pertains very closely to the Twins. And then we'll get to all the different players that they have projected to go to the Twins. So Jordan Montgomery is the 6th ranked free agent. He's the left-handed starter from the Rangers. And he's projected, and he's a good pitcher. He's not like a staff ace. But he was a name we kind of floated around. Hey, if the Twins lose out on Sonny Gray, is there a chance they could go fishing in a similar pond here? Well, Jordan Montgomery is projected to sign a 6-year, $150 million contract. Rangers, Mets, and Giants being the teams that are listed. He'd be your only left-handed starter, but like, there's no way after the payroll announcement that they'd be in the mix on Jordan Montgomery, right?
No, and I don't know that I trust him that much. Like he had a good year, but keep in mind the Yankees traded him to the Cardinals, and the Yankees might have been totally wrong, but their pronouncement was he's not really a top end guy at the time. So yeah, that contract to me seems overly aggressive.
Those Brian Cashman comments too the other day were
great?
just hilarious. And they were great too. I loved them. Don't get me wrong, I loved them. But he was like, "Look, all these great guys we traded away. They're helping playoff teams." Like, well, you traded them away. Like you gave them away too, which I found hilarious.
Kind of amazing. He's still the GM of the Yankees. You know?
Yeah.
He referenced Joey Gallo though. Well, Joey Gallo went to the
Gallo.
Twins, and he was in the playoffs. Brian, did you watch? Joey Gallo wasn't in the playoffs.
No, he was not. In fact, he went down with a mysterious injury, kind of a vague, mysterious injury with like 3 or 4 weeks left, and there was never even an update, right?
No.
Never
Did
heard
anyone
anything.
even ask about him? Like, hey, how's Joey? Is Joey Gallo getting close? Like, he just was gone, I feel like.
He got kneecapped by the team, probably.
Just going to hide you over here. Okay, Lucas Giolito, who I floated. You guys kind of shot that one down. But he fits the Twins' previous habits of, is there a guy out there that we can revive or get to another level? And he has been a Cy Young caliber pitcher in his career. And he's coming out of this just garbage situation, right, in Chicago. So 2 years, $44 million is the projection on Lucas Giolito. Mets, Orioles, and then Mets again are the projections. He's intriguing at his best. He's very intriguing at his best.
Go ahead, Dex.
No. Nope. Even when he went to Cleveland, he got roughed up after getting claimed. I would do 2 years, and I'm splitting hairs here. I would do 2 years, $30 million. I give him $15 million per.
I like how you're negotiating against the MLB Trade Rumors guys.
Yep.
I'd give Bellinger 12 years. I'll give you 5.
Counter.
So
Yeah.
he's like, okay.
I'll give you 2 years. 1 year and an option, Cody.
No, I mean the guy was really good in 2021. The last 2 years he's been a train wreck. I have a tough time giving him $20 million per after the last 2 years he's had.
I hate to say it, but Phil, I think you might be right. Like with what they've done now and the announcement about, hey, payroll's coming down, I think you might have hit this one.
I don't think you guys are going to hate it if it happens. They've done some really good work with pitchers. Like you could argue that Sonny Gray and Pablo Lopez have kind of reached their peaks as pitchers under this Twins tutelage.
But weren't they already sort of ascending in the Twins? I feel like the Twins are going. I feel like this is more of a declining guy, and we've sort of seen this before. Like yes, on Gray and Lopez, but they were ascending pitchers, and the Twins, I think we can say, helped them. But isn't Giolito more on the lines of you're going out and signing a guy, and I'm not comparing him directly, but the Bundys and the Archers and the Rich Hills and sort of a little bit of a scrap heap situation more so?
I see what you're saying, because he definitely has been declining the last couple of years, but he's 28 years old. So it would like Chris Archer was in his 30s.
Yeah.
And he had a bunch of injury issues and stuff. And it's like, that was really a scrap heap situation. Dylan Bundy was like a former once highly touted prospect who really, I think he had a pretty good pandemic year in a small sample size, but he had never like fully realized. Giolito at his best he was 6th, 7th, and 11th in Cy Young voting between 2019 and 21. And so I just wonder, is there something there as a 29-year-old that the Twins can tap into? So I'm kind of in on Lucas Giolito, I guess.
In the last 63 starts, the last 2 years of Lucas Giolito, he has an ERA of near 5. He's giving up nearly 2 home runs per 9 innings. He's getting hit a ton. I don't know. I think he's fallen off a cliff here. He was really good for the White Sox there for a little bit, but I don't think I can give that guy a lot of money right now.
He also gave up 41 home runs, which led the league by a mile. That was sort of flirting with Burt. Didn't Burt Blyleven give up like 55 one year?
Thought it was 48.
As the record? 48.
As the record, yeah.
In far, far fewer innings, he was kind of flirting with Burt Blyleven's all-time home run record.
Yeah.
Still in on him, though.
But I think you might be right.
Okay. So, all right, let's get to some like real juicy Twin stuff here. Sonny Gray, projected to go to the Braves, Dodgers, and/or Tigers. So none of these guys have Sonny Gray going back to the Twins on a 4-year, $90 million contract. You probably just say thanks, no thanks, right?
Yeah.
We'll take the comp pick.
Here's my question. Do you guys think that at this point in his career, the Twins for the last couple of years, and certainly in 2023, got the best possible from him? And I'm not saying like he's going to go off a cliff, but I am saying that there's going to be a regression. And if you sign him to a long-term contract, it's probably going to continue. Do you think that?
If this feels like you're paying for the best version of him, but you're not guaranteed to, especially age and everything else, to get it going forward. But it's funny that that's your logic with Sonny Gray. But when you reverse the logic with Lucas Giolito, you're out.
Well, that's why I'm asking the question here. This is among friends at the round table trying to decide if we're in or not. No, I'm saying do we think that Gray can replicate 2022 for a couple of more years? Because if you do, that changes my feeling.
You mean 2023, like replicating what he did this last year?
Sorry.
I mean, that was. I mean, he had a sub-3 ERA. Like he's in his mid-30s, probably. And I love Sonny Gray. I'm a big Sonny Gray fan. In fact, I am tempted to that contract. I'm not completely out on that contract for him. I'm not.
Wow, you guys. To be clear, I would 100 times out of 100 rather sign Lucas Giolito for 2 years, 44, than Sonny Gray for 4 years, 90. I just want to put that out on the podcast and get on the record.
I couldn't disagree more. I'd much rather take the Sonny Gray bet. I'd rather have the horse at the top of my rotation, even if I'm overpaying for a guy who might fall off a little bit.
The thing is, 2 years ago, the view of both these pitchers was probably flip-flopped.
Yeah.
And one guy is now in his mid-30s. The other guy is still in his prime. So
to go back to the discussion that we had about pitching earlier in the week on the Twin Show, I guess where I sort of stand just mentally on this is I'm wondering if you can make a trade to find a pitcher who is the next potentially Lopez or Gray.
Yeah.
Because the free agent market, it just scares me because, you're either taking flyers on guys that were good at one time, or in the case of Gray, and I think I'm more on Phil's side here than Declan's. In the case of Gray, you're like paying a guy for services rendered with the likelihood that he won't be able to continue that. That's what concerns me.
Yeah, and you're overpaying for, really, because it's every team needs pitching. And so when you throw out a free agent market where, what are their, Montgomery, Giolito, Sonny Gray, we'll get to a couple other names here too. Let's say there's like 8 to 10 viable starting pitchers, but 30 teams are looking for starting pitching, and maybe 20 teams are actively like looking to pay for starting pitching in the free. So the supply and demand is such that Jordan Montgomery gets $150 million, even though he's probably not worth it. And the Twins probably can't afford to splash around there. But here's another name, okay? This one is actually projected to go to the Twins by one of these authors, MLB Trade Rumors. Marcus Stroman, on the same contract as Lucas Giolito. He's the 18th overall ranked free agent on this list. 2 years, $44 million. He's 32 years old, right-handed starting pitcher. He's kind of in an era where strikeouts are becoming much more prominent year by year by year. We're setting these strikeout records. He is a master of weak contact. He'll get you some strikeouts, but he is not going to come in here like Pablo Lopez and get you, 8, 9, 10, 12 strikeout games.
Right.
He had a good first half. He was an all-star with the Cubs last year, and then he had some like a hip strain or something and a rib cage thing, and it kind of derailed the second half of the season. But Marcus Stroman, 32 years old, 2 years, $44 million.
Run to the bank. Run to the bank if that's the case. I big fan of Marcus Stroman. The Twins, I believe, were semi in on him on that 2019 deadline that amounted to basically Sergio Romo, and that was it. And ever since then, and I know he opted out, didn't play in the COVID season, but the last 3 years, man, he's been a damn good pitcher. If that's the price for Marcus Stroman, I would do that 100 times out of 100 every single time. I love me some Marcus Stroman. A lot of swagger too. He's a fun guy to watch pitch. Big fan.
So did you say that Stroman and Giolito would get about the same contract?
The exact same contract listed here. 2 years, $44 million.
I'll take Stroman then. Yeah, I'll take Stroman. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought Stroman would probably be projected to get more than Giolito.
So Giolito at his best is the better pitcher, but we haven't seen him at his best in like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Stroman, I agree with what Declan said. Stroman kind of fits like he's swaggy. I think he fits sort of the culture of what they're building in this rotation too. That's a lot of nebulous, unquantifiable stuff I just said. But the one thing that makes me really curious here is that he's one of the best ground ball pitchers, starting pitchers in baseball, and the Twins have one of the best defensive shortstops. I think Royce Lewis's glove plays really well at third base. We'll see what happens at second base. If Jorge Polanco's playing second base, even better. Julian, a little dicier. But if you've got one of the best defensive shortstops, if you like the left side of your infield in particular defensively, this could be a great fit for Marcus Stroman as a ground ball pitcher.
He had a 57% ground ball rate last year. MLB average was 43.
Yep, he's extreme ground ball guy.
That's an absurd. Yeah, if you had the defense behind him, then yes, that would make it. This would make a ton of sense to go after a guy like Stroman.
So we'd be in on this now. 2 years, $44 million. That would be a $22 million a year chunk. Now the payroll conversation comes in. You're sitting at like $120 million. Ownership has told various outlets that it's going to be like 125 to 140 this year. So now you're going to have to find ways to move a Farmer or a Vasquez or somebody. Okay, Kenta Maeda projected 2 years, $36 million. Mets, Orioles, and Twins as the main suitors here. He'll be 36 years old in April. Be cheaper than Stroman, cheaper than Giolito. 2 years, $36
I think I'm
million.
Stroman. I think I would let Kenta walk, and if it was Stroman, Giolito, and Kenta, I think I'm going Stroman for sure. Yeah, this doesn't the age and the arm troubles, and I don't know. Like, I mean, he was. I think he did a fantastic job. And if I'm not mistaken, in the COVID year, he was second in Cy Young voting to Bieber. So he did a really good job. But I think I would prefer to go with the Stroman option than the Maeda option if I have to choose between the two, which I would have to.
Yeah, and at this point, like if you only get Stroman, like I'd rather roll the dice with your in-house options of Bailey Over or any of your minor league prospects that are knocking on the door that can make starts for you and stuff too. So if you get one really like big spend, I'm taking Stroman every time. And then if you need to fill out rotations or, as people get injured, as it always happens through the course of a Major League Baseball season, I'd rather roll with someone in your prospect pool that can come up and make a spot starter too.
I am ranking these 4 options. Number 1, Marcus Stroman, with the contract included, by the way. So the contract is very important here. Because I think if it's just like which pitcher would I rather have next year, no context, Sonny Gray is number 1. But which pitcher would I rather have contract included? Marcus Stroman, 2 years, 44, number 1. Lucas Giolito, 2 years, 44, number 2. Kenta Maeda, 2 years, 36, 3. And I would put Sonny Gray, 4 years, 90, 4th on that list. Especially with, like, I know there's no salary cap, but, like, the Twins aren't going to be able to. This would be a huge spend for them at 4 years, 90 for Sonny Gray. And it would handcuff what they're trying to do. So, Rhys Hoskins. Projected Twins, Angels, and then back to Philly. So he missed all year last year. He tore his ACL in spring training.
He's not going back.
He'll be 31 years old in March.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the metrics, he's regarded as kind of an average to slightly above average fielder at first base. The eye test might tell you otherwise. So let's call him like just kind of an average guy at first base defensively. Not a great base runner, but he's a right-handed power bat, reasonable strikeout rate. You're not talking Joey Gallo strikeout rates here. 2 years, $36 million.
Yeah, sign me up for. And I saw a story. I think it was this week. The Phillies basically said, "Sorry, Rhys, that there's no room at the inn for you because Bryce Harper is now being moved to first base full time. Yep. Schwarber DHs because he's an absolute butcher in the field. So you're probably down to a few teams. I would do this in a heartbeat. And plus, what influences me, right-handed bat as well.
What do you do with Kirilloff?
I might trade Kirilloff. Depending on if I can still sell, and this is a big if I can still sell in the least bit high there, I'm really concerned. He's hurt all the time.
How can you sell high on him, though? That's the problem.
No, but that's what I'm saying is if anybody still thinks, oh, it's just sort of a fluky thing, but I mean, he's had, but yeah, that's a huge question. But I guess the second question, or the question I would ask you back is, can you trust Kirilloff to play? Yeah. And my feeling now is you really can't.
That's the thing. If we've been saying the whole offseason here, right? Hope is not a strategy. You can't just go in and say, all right, so we're going to hope that Austin Martin, Alex Kirilloff, Trevor Larnach we're going to trade Kepler and Larnach is going to be, you can't go in hoping that like 5 guys, we're going to hope that Byron Buxton can play 100 games in center field. You need some certainty. So where I would side with you here is Rhys Hoskins is a certainty as a hitter, and you need a right-handed bat somewhere in this lineup. You need to start replacing like 1 or 2 left-handed hitters with some right-handed hitters at some point, or at least get another right-handed bat in the mix. And so Rhys Hoskins would give you about as much like what you'd be getting at first base with Rhys Hoskins. So I'm interested in this, and then I would sort of figure out what to do with Kirilloff as a second step.
Yeah. I love me some Rhys Hoskins. Really good player. The only thing that would concern me here, and the price, not so much. Actually, I would sign me up for that price. I think I still would do that. The thing that would concern me is he hasn't played baseball since 2022. And even in 2022, when he played in 150 games, his OPS dipped by like 50 points. So is he a guaranteed thing to be a really good hitter? I don't know if that's a guarantee. I like him. When he's at his best, he's drawing a lot of walks. He hits for pop. The strikeouts you take. Like if you told me I could get obviously the 2020 or 2019 version even of Rhys Hoskins, I think I'd sign myself up for it because the dude draws a lot of walk and has a lot of pop. But having not played baseball in 2023, an offensive dip in 2022, there is a little bit of a fear there that maybe this guy is not cooked, but not going to be the player he once was either.
I'll give you 4 other names here, 3 other names that are left here that it's a top 50 list, and there's number 29, 36, and 46 are all projected to go to the Twins by at least one of these authors. Do any of these guys do anything for you? And then we'll get to a random twin. Reynaldo Lopez as a reliever. So there's 2 guys that would be like your setup guy to Duran. Reynaldo Lopez, he's been with the White Sox the last couple of years mostly. He bounced around. I think the Angels claimed him. He was one of those. Yep. The Angels claim it, or no, the Angels traded for him and then they dumped him and then a third team picked him up.
That's right.
But he's 30 years old. He would be your setup guy. He throws about 100 miles an hour. He's been really good the last couple of years. 3 years, $30 million going rate for a setup guy. Hector Neris, who the Twins saw in that Astros series,
Yeah.
He's 34, but he's one of the best setup guys in baseball. 2 years, $15 million for him. And then Harrison Bader, center fielder, 2 years, $20 million. I would say he's kind of a diet version of Michael A. Taylor. They both don't get on base. They both play really good defense in center. Michael A. Taylor has more pop, probably. So, do any of those three guys do anything for you?
Not really. And here's the thing. So if you're going to go Bader, why don't you just try to bring Taylor back?
Well,
like Kiermaier's a
if
step
Taylor
up.
wants to go play somewhere else, I think,
Okay. Well, it doesn't excite me. I guess if I have to, if the payroll's coming down, I think Kiermaier's not going to sign here. That's my guess. Like, he's not a cheap player. So I guess in that case, if I have to settle a little bit, Bader might intrigue me. But here's my bullpen question. Are we sure that Varland's going back to the rotation? Because I'm still super intrigued by his setup ability out of the bullpen.
Right, but isn't that also hope? You're hoping that Varland can be your eighth inning guy. I'd rather go in, hey, you're a reliever, but you're our fourth guy on that bridge.
I mean, I guess it's hope, but I'm a little bit more convinced of the possibility that that's going to work. If I have to pick one of those two pitchers, it's got to be Neris for sure. Lopez doesn't do that much for me. Like, I probably wouldn't pay him. Neris, I probably would.
You're hoping that Louis Varland turns into an elite setup man, but like, I don't think that's far from a guarantee. In fact, even though he pumped a lot of gas, he was shaky at times last year, even in that bullpen role. So it's intriguing. Like, I'd rather you give that guy a low leverage thing to start, and he earns his spot to be a setup man. That would be obviously the path of him becoming the setup man. He's not going to break out opening day, and as your first game of the season, you get into Durant, Varland's not taking the mound in the eighth inning unless he just absolutely wows you in spring training. But I'd rather go with Neris. Like, in 2 years, 15 for a reliever, you could sign me up for that too.
Yeah, like if they only get one or two bites at this list, let's say, I don't think one of the bites is Ronaldo Lopez for $30 million over 3 years. But I could see like a 2 year 15 thing for a Hector Neris and then a center fielder. But Bader would be third. I'd be talking to Kiermaier first, and then I'd be talking to Michael A. Taylor, and then Bader. I think you have to get one of those three guys because of Buxton's uncertainty, and also Austin Martin. We don't know. Like, it'd be great if Austin Martin could be the solution. That would be the best case scenario, but we don't know.
And Martin could get dealt too.
He could. He's on that secret menu.
He's definitely on that. Yeah, he might be atop that secret list.
Yeah. So, all right, those are just a bunch of names that are tied to the Twins recklessly.
Yep.
Speculation.
Via MLB
And in March,
Trade
they'll
Rumors.
all sign.
God, I know. God, baseball, man.
And some point as spring training starts, they're all going to sign their contracts with some team.
I think the Twins are going to want to be aggressive here in the next month, like before Christmas, and just let's get a little certainty here. Let's a starter, a center fielder, because you've got so many different variables here. If you can just like fill a couple spots, it'll help you with maybe trade discussions in January. So, all right, I believe it's Declan's turn here for a random Twin of the week. Judd coming off 2 straight victories, correctly guessing Craig Breslow and Glenn Williams. Before that, I correctly guessed Butch Husky and Ryan Presley. We've done 16 editions of Random Twin of the Week. I have 8 correct points. Judd and Declan each have 4 correct points. Declan will throw out a series of clues here. Losers out. Whoever loses gives the clues next week. We get up to 3 strikes each. If one of us hits 3 strikes, the other person wins.
All right.
Here we go.
All right, this random Twin of the Week played in 220 games with the Twins. I'll give you that right off the bat. 220 games with the Twins. Do we have a guess?
Could be any number of things. Could be any number of things.
This random Twin of the Week had a career average with the Twins of 264. So in those 220 games, he had a batting average of 264. This random twin of the week is a World Series winner. Get me my detonator. With the Twins, this random twin of the week played the following positions: right field, first base, DH. And there goes Vinny.
Hi, Vinny.
And he's loose. And away he goes.
He goes.
Oh, my.
Mom's home. Mom's got coffee. Mom's at Starbucks.
I don't know if we've used this guy before. Hold on.
Do you have the list?
I'm looking at random twins. I think
Do you need me
have
to
this.
give you the list?
No, I think I have this one.
We can control F. We can't Google, just for clarity.
Right. Oh yeah. No. I'm on the Gmail right now. I'm not going anywhere near the Google.
I mean, Gmail is
this-
really close to Google.
Yeah,
Just be
Oh, it
careful.
is. It's the same family too.
This random twin of the week had a 22-year big league career.
Oh, glad I didn't guess what I was going to guess. Oh, I played first base though. Okay. Had a 22-year big league career.
That's a long time to play
Yeah,
big
totally.
big league baseball.
But just so like a relative cup of coffee in Minnesota. Like that's a long career for only 200.
This random twin of the week claimed he could have been the Shohei Otani of his generation.
Dave Winfield.
Ding, 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 ding. Dave Winfield.
He played first base here?
According to Baseball Reference. Damn. My next clue is going to be his family taught me and other little leaguers how to hit baseballs.
Steve
Winfield.
right?
Steve
His
was
brother.
my high school hitting coach. Yeah. Steve was a legend, man.
Steve never worked with me.
We know. We
Yeah.
can tell. Wow. Judd, impressive victory, man. It was like a freight train on that last clue there. Did you have any inkling until that last clue it was Dave Winfield? Were you thinking at all?
I was going to guess it after 22-year career, except for I have no recollection of him playing first base with the Twins.
Paul Molitor came into my mind there, but I was like, he didn't play right field. And he also hit better than 264 because he hit 340 something one year with the Twins. But nice job, Judd.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Why are you so sad?
Me?
Yeah, you seem a little Eeyore.
You do seem a little. I would say you seem a little Eeyore and melancholy on this whole episode, quite frankly.
Oh, really?
For it being-
I'd like to
I mean, it
apologize.
is reckless
No.
speculation.
No.
You just won the random twin of the week.
Oh no,
3
I'm very
straight
happy.
victories.
I was going to take a sip of coffee. I'm very happy. Thank you. No, I'm not sad at all. I'm very, very pleased right now.
Okay, I don't know if it was
No.
just like
Yeah, no, I'd like to
you're coming off that
apologize.
emotional Vikings win, and now it's Thursday. and
You know
it's
that
like,
is that might have something to
It's
do with it
happening.
subconsciously with the Josh Dobbs, the high that I felt from Josh Dobbs, and now sort of like it's waiting now for the Saints game. That's a good point. That might be it.
Okay.
No, I'm very
Just want
happy.
to make sure everything's okay.
Oh no, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. No, I'm great.
Hey, we just recklessly speculated a bunch of names there. Which of those players intrigues you the most? Hit us up in the YouTube comment section on the Score North YouTube channel, and we'll see you guys. We have a scoop session today. We have Purple Daily State of the Offense today, and a little Feedback Friday across a couple different shows tomorrow. So thank you guys for hanging out with us on the Score North Twin Show.